I can remember a time back in 5th grade, my teacher Miss Char made me do the chicken dance. That's right, the chicken dance during recess because I was acting like the class clown. I could have let that experience put my tail between my legs, but instead I leaned into it and unapologetically did the dance in a way that I and everyone else could laugh at. Sure, in the beginning, was it more likely the kids were laughing at me instead of with me? Probably most definitely. But once more kids started noticing I was doing the chicken dance with the ridiculous music my teacher had blaring in the background, I looked at the kid closest to me, who I felt was actually enjoying the show, and who I knew loved to dance, and I challenged her to do it with me. Now luckily for me, she was crazy enough to join. Then her friends joined, and I told the teacher to play the song again. What was the teacher gonna do at that point? Stop the fun? Realize that her intention of trying to teach me a lesson backfired? I give her credit for rolling with the punches, and to be honest, she became one of the most memorable and best teachers I've ever had. In this situation, I could have done any number of things. Run away from the challenge, froze, be mad at my teacher for making me do it, cry about it to my parents when I got home, but all of those things implied that I didn't have the courage to accept the challenge. It takes the same energy to be brave as it does to be fearful. It takes the same energy to complain as it does to embrace the situation. The only thing you have to change is the filter in which you choose to experience the thing you are currently experiencing. In this video, I want to leave you with 3 ways to turn your insecurities into a strength. Don't magnify the small things. When you least expect it, you can become insecure. It can be because someone said something that made you feel dumb or inferior. Imagine you're sitting at a table with a group of people. Some are friends, some you just met. One of them is sharing a story about a project they were working on at work, and they said that the CMO was so impressed with their work that it might result in a promotion. You're excited for them because you know it's a good thing for them, but you ask, what's a CMO? The friend says it stands for Chief Marketing Officer. The group continues to go about the conversation, but you sit there and start thinking to yourself, is this something I should have known? Is this common knowledge? Ugh, I'm so dumb. They must think I'm so dumb. I'm never gonna be able to show my face again. Or, I'm never gonna ask a question like that ever again. Little do you know, when everyone is saying goodbye and going their separate ways, the people you just met are saying, wow, I really liked her. I can't wait to hang out with her again. In order for you to deal with insecurity, you need to put yourself in position to be vulnerable. But even if you don't, life will do it to you. It's important to remember life never gives you anything you can't handle, no matter how tough it gets. I actually went through a phase where I didn't wear shorts because I hated how small my calves were. It could be hot as hell outside and I would still wear pants. But the thing you gotta realize is that hardly anyone cares more than you do. So if you make it a big deal, you're magnifying the few people that would actually say something or even be thinking about your insecurity. You gotta stop caring so much about what everyone thinks about you. Those who waste energy and time on what others might or might not think of them end up living very brittle and delicate lives. They don't walk around like they are about something, so no one treats them like they are something. You give people permission to treat you like a loser just as much as you give them permission to treat you like a boss. Either way, you are the one giving permission. Understand the purpose of insecurities. Think of insecurities like messages our brain tells us. There are basically 3 messages. 1. It could tell us how confident we are about our ability to do something. 2. It tells us that we should be afraid to lose something we already have or that we believe we have. 3. That we are out of place and in unfamiliar territory. I'm not trying to throw punches at all PhDs, but I read several articles from people who researched the topic, and honestly, I disagree with so much of what they were saying for one main reason. They all made me feel like the insecure person was being coddled and given permission to place the blame and responsibility on the person or external thing causing the insecurity, rather than giving the person feeling insecure methods to overcome the insecurity. It doesn't take a degree to understand when you hand off the responsibility of ownership for your feelings, you lose power to change how you feel because you are at the mercy of that person or thing making you feel that way. Let's look at message number 1. I could have easily blamed the teacher for putting me, a student, in an extremely uncomfortable and embarrassing position, regardless if she was trying to teach me a lesson or not. I could have blamed the kids for laughing at me even if it was actually funny. I could have blamed the school for allowing this to happen even though the school couldn't have possibly seen this coming. I could have blamed my parents for not asking me on that day how school was. I could have blamed my guy friends for not backing me up. Why would I have to ask them to back me up? Why couldn't they volunteer? That's what a real friend would do, right? But school is supposed to prepare you for life, and it was awesome for me as a student to have gone through that experience. But the reality was, at that time, I was insecure because I wasn't used to an audience of that size having all the attention on me. I wasn't a good dancer, still not by many people's standards, but I swear I act like I am. I wasn't sure if I could pull that dance off at that time, and if I didn't pull it off, well, the class clown in me probably would have died. Now, I'm not saying the class clown shouldn't have turned it down a couple of notches, but killing it all together? No. No way is that a good thing. What's life without humor and making other people laugh? Now check this out. The researchers and people who disagree with my perspective aren't wrong. They just aren't right for me. I chose to live my life chasing independence and freedom from people telling me that it's someone else's fault for why I'm insecure and uncomfortable. In my opinion, when society tries to overly protect and coddle people, it creates a culture of dependency on authority figures to resolve every little problem in their life. Message number 2. My brain is telling me that I'm afraid that I might lose something I already have or that I believe I have. Imagine as an adult, you are applying for a new job, one with more responsibilities. You confide in your coworkers and tell them about the new job you're interested in. Some might encourage you, some might out of the goodness of their heart be genuinely concerned whether you are really up to the task based off what they've observed and know about you. Sure, some might discourage you out of jealousy and wanting you to stay in the same level as them, but the reason doesn't really matter. There were some elements of truth in what some of them were saying, so the seeds of doubt start to set in. Your brain begins to tell you, maybe you should stay put. It's not bad here. In fact, it's quite nice and comfortable. Why do I want to leave behind a good, comfortable, safe situation? I don't want to lose what I already have. I'm just going to stay put and try to get even better in my current role. A day or two goes by, and those coworkers ask you, how did the interview go? You tell them the excuse you stayed up all night and spent the energy coming up with. You say it wasn't the right fit, and there was some inconveniences that wasn't exactly right for me right now. Your coworkers say, that makes sense, and keep going about their business. Now everything is back to normal, and you're all good in their book because you're back to being one of them. A few months goes by and the company decides it needs to go in a different direction and reduces the workforce in your department by half. All the energy you spent convincing yourself that promotion wasn't good for you just got nullified. Meaning, in plain English, you wasted your time coming up with excuses why a challenge wasn't a good fit for you, not from a place of abundance and growth, but from a place of fear and false security. Message 3. We are out of place and in unfamiliar territory. You've been called out and put on the spot when you were young and you froze. Your mind couldn't process and you didn't know what to say in the moment. You're scared and scarred, and you decided from this point on, you were better off being an introvert. As the years go by, you bury that dramatic event and blur the details or forget about it altogether. And as an adult, you wear the I'm an introvert as a normal thing that is a part of you. You continue to improve the things you are good at. You invent something or come up with a brilliant idea. An opportunity presents itself and you have the chance to take your career and business to the next level. But you decide, I can't do this. I don't belong on this stage. This is not territory I am familiar with. I don't want to. I don't want to convince anyone, talk to anyone, say anything. If you're unlucky to find a business partner that has your best interest at heart and can do the communication for you, your idea, as brilliant as it is, it's dead in the water. Insecurities can be a powerful motivator. You don't have to be an eloquent speaker or an amazing presenter if you don't genuinely like that part.
but you should do the work to understand where that insecurity comes from and be confident enough in your ability to do it when you need to. We are human and we love accomplishing challenges. We may sometimes fail to identify the love of the process of improvement in the moment, but if you take the time to understand why you are insecure about something and reconstruct how that insecurity came to be, you can find yourself doing things that you never thought you could do. And if you're wondering where real deep confidence comes from, it's just that. Doing things that you were once insecure about. That's why an extrovert can still be insecure. They are just insecure about something else, usually more private. But if they too lean in on accepting challenges on a regular basis, then they will also develop that genuine confidence that makes life that much more enjoyable. If you like this video, check out one of these two below to continue learning to gain your freedom. The previews are playing below the thumbnails. See you in the next one. Who said the first 100K? That man is Charlie Munger, Vice Chairman of Berkshire Hathaway with a current net worth of $2.2 billion. Question a week from now. How about a month from now? Because we are human, we can expect to feel this from time to time. The feeling that Sarah's making more than me, Billy's traveling